Hey, how the devil. Oh, yeah. Okay, I've got a bit of a chest infection, so excuse me if I sound a little bit chesty now and again. I'll try and edit out the coughing as much as I can, okay? But there we are, it's what it is. Now, if you're just getting into hi-fi, you're sort of dipping your toe in, I'd recommend always buying second hand. You can always sell it on if you don't like it. But I'd always recommend buying second hand simply because don't go to the expense of buying a new equipment. I mean, when I first started, I bought all mine second hand just to try it out to see if I liked, getting into hi-fi and getting back into it. So I'd recommend always doing that rather than spending loads of cash on a new equipment. Or taking it over, doing monthly payments over 2 years. Okay, get second hand. You can always sell it on, which I've done. Which brings me to these, the Cambridge Audio S30s. These are about 15 years old now, getting on. They were out 15 years ago. At the time, they were reviewed very highly. Only a small little bookshelf speaker. You could say they're a desktop speaker, but they're small this way, but they go quite deep. So that might be awkward if you've got a small desk. So what we got on the front? So we've got a 10 centimeter woven composite mid bass, a 25mm soft dome tweeter, with the faceplate slightly cut away to bring these closer, which is supposedly to allow better integration. On the back, they're rear ported. You've got 4 speaker binding posts to allow bi-wiring. Bi-wiring's hit or miss with me. And you've got these jumper plates here, which connect the highs and the lows. Now, I will say these jumper plates are a little bit naff, okay? They're very, very thin. I don't know what they're made of. And they won't give the best connection between the highs and the lows. So I'm going to change these out for 12 gauge pure copper oxygen-free cable. So what are the specs on these? They have a frequency response of 55 Hertz to 22 kilohertz. Now don't be fooled by that 55 Hertz lower end, because they do put out quite a bit of bass for their size. And I will say it's relative to this size. They won't go down deep and low, but I was surprised when I played them how good the bass was for the size they were. The impedance is 4 to 8 ohms, and it's a 2.5-way crossover, and they recommend an amplifier power is 25 to 100 watts. Now, this is crazy because they have a sensitivity of 90 dB, which makes them a very efficient speaker and should go quite loud. It shouldn't be that hard to drive, and they should go quite loud without any distortion. They've got this sort of plastic fake wood veneer stuff over it. I mean, it looks okay. It's a pretty budget speaker. So for what it is, it's not bad at all. It looks pretty good. Now, I bought these second hand for the princely sum of £40. How good is that? 40 quid. They were up for 50. I knocked them down a little bit, made an offer on eBay of 40 and they accepted, and I got them sent out. So 40 quid, you can't really go wrong. And I probably, if I don't like them or don't want to keep them, I can always sell them on, probably for more. Anyway, what I want to do now is give them a little sound test and see how they sound, and also take out these jumper plates because they're really rubbish, okay, and change them over. See what I mean? Change them over for some 12 gauge copper wire. I'll cut this and trim them over, and Bob's your uncle. Okay, after a little bit of cutting and a bit of splicing and a bit of slashing, okay, I've managed to get the jumper plates off, and in its place I've put some 12 gauge oxygen free pure copper cable. And that should give it a better connection than these cheapy, whatever they are, tinfoil things. They're rubbish. Right, so let's get it onto my hi-fi. Notice I've just pushed them apart there so I can get my banana plugs in, because I'm going to have to use banana plugs because I've got these wires in here. I'm going to connect it up and then do a sound test, see what they sound like. And there you go. So what did you guys think? Well, you tell me in the comment section. What did I think? Well, personally, for such a small speaker, they're pretty good. So with the bass, I thought the bass was very tight, very present. I was surprised how much bass they put out relative to the size of the speaker. Look, are they going to go down low and give you that boomy, woofy bass? No, they're not. But you can always add a subwoofer to them if you wanted to. But the bass, relative to the size of the speaker, is very, very good. Very tight, very punchy. It's quite a punchy speaker. When it comes to the mid-range was good. I would say it was slightly recessed a little bit, but not so much you go, oh, they're rubbish. It was still pretty good, but maybe slightly recessed, but not too bad. When it comes to the treble was very bright. They were a very bright speaker. They're quite a forward speaker, very punchy. So if you like a bright speaker, then these are the ones for you because they are very trebly, okay? But if you've got an EQ or tone controls, you can always turn the treble down if you want to take the edge off it. But they were quite a bright speaker. When it comes to stereo imaging, again, really good considering I got them for 40 quid. Very clear, very concise. Stereo imaging was decent. Can't really grumble there. When it comes to placement, I gotta say they're not really fussy. I tried them 10 inches from the wall. I tried them really close. I found that the sweet spot was about 6 inches or 15 centimeters from the wall. So I moved them back there, which is a good because obviously if you're going to use these in a bedroom or on a desktop, then you can't have them that far from the wall really, can you? So it's good that they're not too fussy about placement and you can place them relatively close to the wall. If you place them too close, be aware that you may get a little bit of blooming, a little bit of boominess, possibly. But I found 6 inches, 15 centimeters was about the sweet spot for me. I also think they'd be quite decent in a surround sound system. Have 4 of these with a subwoofer, and if you've got Dolby Atmos as well, your Atmos speakers, I think they'd be very good in a surround sound system. But ideally, a desktop, possibly, or in a small bedroom. So all in all, very good speaker. Now I recently reviewed, well, a few months ago, the Wharfedale 9.1s, and I said they were one of the best budget speakers in my opinion. And obviously some people's opinions maybe differ, okay, but I thought for the price you pay for them new at the moment, they're anywhere between £100 and £124 in the UK. I don't know what else where, how much they're going to be, but in the UK they range from that price. Now what I'll do, I'll get hold of them speakers again because they're my brother's, okay, and I lent them off him to do the review, and I give them back to him now. So I'll go up to him cap in hand, can I have your speakers again? Okay, and I'll do a sound comparison between the two, because these, I'm just surprised how good they are relative to the size they are. Okay, remember that, it's relative to the size they are, okay? So I want to see if the 9.1s are better or worse than these speakers. So I'll do a sound comparison, so look out for that once I sort of go cap in hand and get the speakers off him. Anyway, that comes to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, like, and if you haven't subscribed, come on. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next video.